Motorhead Garage, the program that each week introduces you to and shows you how to install the latest in exciting and innovative products for your vehicle. Now here's your host, Dave Dobson.
Motorhead Garage is presented by DragonFireTools.com. Here at Motorhead Garage, we've seen Custom Auto Sound a number of times. If you've watched the show before, you're familiar with them. But there's some exciting news from the folks at Custom Auto Sound, because at the SEMA show this year for 2024, they won the Best Mobile Electronics Product Award, and that was given to their USA 850 model here. Alan, you are the general manager there at Custom Auto Sound. What does it mean to you and all the folks there at Custom Auto Sound to win an award like this?
Dave, thanks for having us on the show. We at Custom Auto Sound, our 30 employees and our owner, Sandra Sprague, are very pleased to be recognized. What it means for the company, it's just a continuation of our innovation in supplying the industry with the latest and best automotive products for the classic car industry. And we're very proud to have done that. To hear from our peers and others who are judging these products and making those decisions, for them to recognize that Custom Auto Sound continues to innovate is tremendous for us.
But let's talk about the USA 850 specifically. What makes this thing great?
So the 850 has some incredible technology, including the patent pending and trademark DigiDial technology. DigiDial standing for digital and dial. And that's a combination of really combining those two elements of the modern digital benefits of modern radios, along with the classic look of a dial radio or a needle radio or an analog radio. So that radio allows you to select a screen that has an old classic analog look with a working red needle.
Also, it looks just like the radio did back in the 70s or 60s when you were cruising around listening to your tunes.
At the same time, it also allows you to have modern features. If you want to do an all digital display, you can do that. So that DigiDial technology allows the user or operator to select from 4 different screen displays. If they want to look like the old style 1960s or want to have the conveniences of a modern digital radio, you can do both.
Now, Alan, how many different applications do you have for the USA 850?
Yeah, so like all of our radios, our new USA 850 will fit all 450 plus of our applications for classic cars, trucks, and street rods.
And if folks look on your catalog, look on your website, and can't find what they're looking for, something that fits their car exactly, maybe they have a street rod, some kind of build they don't have a specific look for, what are their options there?
So in some cases, we'll ask those people to provide the dimensions for that radio box, and we can sometimes custom make a radio for them. We also have what's called a secret audio system. So if they have a smaller dash or need to hide that radio for whatever reasons, we have a radio that will fit under the seat.
I know a lot of folks too, maybe the car didn't come with the radio in the first place, but they still want their tunes, and that keeps their car's original look. They don't have to cut the dash as well, and they love that.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we're really proud of, is the fact that our radio's going to fit into your original dash and maintain that integrity and original look.
Well, they look great, they fit perfectly. How do we know we're getting a quality product from Custom Auto Sound? We're going to get great sound and something that's going to last a long time.
All of our radios go through a quality inspection process here in Fullerton, California. Each and every radio is tested to make sure that that radio fits our specifications. Now, in the event that something doesn't work out correctly, we're very pleased to offer our custom warranty, and that is a 2-year parts warranty to go along with a 1-year labor warranty. So if there's ever anything wrong with that radio, within those warranty periods, give us a call. We'll make sure that you're pleased with that radio at the end of the day.
You can be sure that Custom Auto Sound is going to have a radio that fits your application. It's going to fit your budget too. You can find the USA 850 and all of their models at CustomAutoSoundMFG.com. And you can find more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com next. Stay tuned. Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is brought to you by AMSOIL, the first in synthetics. Shade Wagon, throw some shade. And by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage.
What's the difference between these two pistons? Yeah, I know size for sure, but this one came out of an AC compressor and this one came out of an engine. Welcome to this AMSOIL Tech Tip. Yeah, we're talking pistons, but even more important, lubrication. And you know, let's talk about the AC cycle to start with. Now the AC cycle is pretty cool because we go from a high pressure to a low pressure. And the compressor right there, well, he's the player. There's our piston for our compressor. Let's take a look at a couple different types of compressors. Now the top one there, that's an actual radial compressor around. It's kind of like one of those old airplane engines. That's pretty cool. That was on some old GM cars. And then we go across over here to the top. This is a vane type compressor. Once again, pistons or vanes running, you need lubrication for the bearings. Down there you got a scroll compressor. Now the scroll compressor is actually compressing that refrigerant, but once again, it's spinning, I need lubrication. And my electric compressor for my hybrid cars, obviously we're not driving anything with the engine, so we need an electric compressor. My favorite though, here's the actual wobble plate compressor. Now this is really cool. My wobble plate compressor has the piston right here, and we make a short stroke if coolant demands are low and we don't need it very cold. And then on this one, well, the stroke's gonna get much bigger, and that's because we need the cooling, and a piston and lubrication is key there as well. Better yet, Len, check this out, man. I got the coolest demo on the planet right here. I got one cut away. This is actually a wobble plate. And what I can do here is I can spin it, and when I spin it, take a look at that stroke.
Yeah, that's not very long.
It's not very long. So the deal is, when that pressure or we need coolant demand, bam, we can flex this wobble plate. Now watch the difference.
Oh, there you go. Now it's moving.
Yeah, and those pistons are moving, but man, we got all kinds of bearings in here. We need lubrication. This is an AC compressor, but every shop has an air compressor. They need lubrication as well.
Sure, just like a piston moving in the cylinder of a vehicle, you need to have lubrication or you're going to have metal on metal and you're going to have wear. It's not going to work very well.
Now you got an oil designed specifically for that.
Yeah, something we should mention is that AC compressors, air compressors, all require very, very specific products. So make sure that you're using the product that that compressor requires.
So what's so specific about an air compressor?
Well, the chemistry can be different, and the problem is they don't play nice together. So if you don't use the right oil, you could create a bunch of sludge and problems. The main thing that we focus on with our compressor oil, long-term use. 8,000 plus hours for some of our compressor oils. We want to provide that peace of mind that that neglected piece of equipment is going to continue to operate forever.
Neglected piece of equipment in every shop. Len, if they want to find any of your products, where do they go?
Well, you can just check out AMSOIL.com for any of our compressor oils or any of our other motor oils.
Well, check them out at AMSOIL.com.
My name is Keith Handel. This is my 1956 Chevrolet Nomad. The special thing about it is there was only 8,000 Nomads built in 1956. Took us 2 years to put the build together, but it was well worth it. It was a labor of love, seeing this car come back from the grave. The car was basically a basket case. The interior was gutted, so we had to put a motor, transmission. We've done everything on it. New glass, new weather stripping, new paint, as you can see, redone the chrome at Advanced Plating up in Tennessee. The whole car has been redone. It has a slanted B-pillar. It has a lift gate at the back that's second to none when it comes to the style, the ribs. Just a fluid-looking car. It looks fast by just sitting there. It's a lot of hard work, but without the other guys, without Jim DeSautel, without Jason Binger, the project couldn't have happened. There was no way it was going to happen without those two gentlemen. We have a Pontiac 2009 Pontiac G8. The label is listed as an L76. It has an LS3 top end and an LS2 bottom end. It's about 400 horses, but yet it'll give me about 20 miles to the gallon on the highway. The two items that I have from Steel Rubber are the windshield frame that holds the windshield in and the rear glass that holds the lift gate there, holds the glass in there. Steel Rubber is close to me. I only live about 45 minutes from here. They make an excellent product. They're very reliable. They stand by their product. We get a lot of looks. We get a lot of waves when we're on the highway with the car. Just in general, if a person came up to me, generally they say, that's a pretty car, and which it is. I think it's a very pretty car.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, coming to you from the Shade Wagon studio.
This is Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. And this is a cell phone, of course. We all have them, and you're a motorhead, so I know you love to be in your car. So what do you do with your phone when you're in your car? You've got a lot of options, right? You can put it on the magnet on the dash. That's on your vent. It's going to block your vent in the summertime. That's a bad deal. In the wintertime, it's going to fry your phone. And you can put it in your cup holder. You can put it on your lap. But, of course, you know you're going to drive it. It's going to fall into the crack there, and you'll never see it again. And half of the states, Scott, in the union don't allow you to hold it in your hand anyway, and that's a bad idea. So what's my solution? What can I do?
So you put it in a cell phone seat. Cell phone seat is the newest device on the market. It is a single piece of plastic that's got a flexible base. All you got to do is flex this and pop it in your cup holder and release it. It's going to lock in there, and then guess what? Now you're legally hands-free. You can just drop your phone in there like that. You can also go horizontal. You got power cord access here, and here's the best part. Cell phone seat does not block your cup holder. You still have room for your drink.
Whoa, that is cool. And it's so simple. Why didn't somebody think of this before?
I don't know. It was exactly the same with me. I was driving in my neighborhood in my truck. I threw my phone in my cup holder like most people do, and it landed in some kind of a goo, from my kid's squeeze pack. And I pulled my phone out, and I was kind of annoyed, and I thought, why isn't there a better solution? And kind of this idea popped in my head, and I went home to look for it. You go home and you look online, and I was like, this has to exist. It didn't exist. I couldn't figure out why. So I decided to draw it out, much to my wife's dismay, as she's looking over my shoulder saying, what are you doing? What are you doing? I was like, I got an idea. So I drew it out. I found actually a designer that could do 3D AutoCAD type designs, and we 3D printed them just to test it out. And I got the first one I remember that was 3D printed, and it was huge. It was like this big. And the guy that was kind of helping me with the designs felt bad. He's like, I messed it up, it's too big. I was like, no, send it, let me see it. I need to know if this works. Sure enough, I put the big one in my cup holder. Even though it was giant, it worked perfectly. So we kept going, and as you can see now, we have the final version. It took about 6 years to actually get this just right. But now we have a universal cell phone mount that fits in about 90% of vehicle cup holders, holds pretty much any phone, phones with cases, any type of phone, phones with accessories, pop sockets, loopies, doopies, sloopies, whatever you got. This one simple device is going to work for most everything.
What are some of the little extras you put a lot of thought into to keep the phone in place there?
Sure. So the first thing we did was we cut out these side slots here, and that's going to allow you to put your phone in there horizontal. Interestingly enough, it also works with tablets in that horizontal slot. We put this in my son's cup holder on his car seat, and he can put his iPad in there for long road trips. We put a flexible tab here that's going to put a little pressure on the phone, so it's going to hold phones in there, phones without cases, smaller phones, it's going to hold those in a little bit tighter. And then it also can flex back when you have bigger cases like this. This is an iPhone 14 Pro with a wallet on it. It's going to be able to flex back and hold those in there as well. Those bigger cases with OtterBox cases, it's going to be able to push that tab back and hold that in as well. We have power cord access here, so obviously people want to be able to charge their phone in the car. And I like the fact that this sits in your cup holder. Your power cord is staying down here to the side. A lot of newer cars have those flexible tabs in their cup holders or those rubber kind of squares. So we cut the slots out here to allow those tabs to go right in there, and they work great. It's so fun to put this in when you have those spring-loaded tabs and hear it just click in place like it's meant for it. But that doesn't mean that you need those tabs. It's going to work with cup holders without the tabs and without the rubber things as well. It's going to work in a lot of different cup holder styles as long as they're between about 2.5 to 4 inches in round, which pretty much
Most of them are, right?
Most of them are.
You put so much thought into the design. How much thought did you put into the materials that you're using as well?
We talked about doing, different types of plastics. We talked about doing different types of materials like rubber. We landed on ABS plastic, which is the same thing that Legos are made out of. It's a very non-toxic, safe plastic, right? Because kids play with it. And if you've ever stepped on a Lego in the middle of the night, you know how strong ABS plastic is.
Guilty as charged.
This is a very strong, well-made device. It's going to work in extreme heat. It's going to work in, extreme cold. It's a very universal material.
It's a veteran-owned company. The product is made in America, and this is going to make things a lot safer and more convenient for you when you're behind the wheel. It is called the cell phone seat. You can find it at cellphoneseat.com. We'll be right back with more Motorhead Garage presented by DragonFireTools.com, so don't go anywhere.
Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com. Industrial workbenches with integrated tool storage. And brought to you by PaintedAutoBodyParts.com, the leading U.S. auto body parts online store. Mag High Tech. Depend on Mag High Tech when you're pulling a heavy load. And by Sun Gold Power, superior energy solutions.
The PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week is Rick Ravon. Now, Rick Ravon, that name may sound familiar, especially if you're an IndyCar fan. That's right, Rick Ravon Mears, 4-time Indy 500 champion and racing legend. Well, that's not the Rick Ravon we're talking about. We're talking about a different Rick Ravon. Well, at least that's what he calls himself, and he's idolized Rick Mears for decades. His man cave has Mears mementos all over the place, and that man cave also includes a sim racing setup because Rick has been racing online for nearly 30 years, and he does it under the name Savats. He's racked up 225 race wins, 9 series championships, and 4 Indy 500 wins on sim racing. You can call him Rick Ravon, you can call him Savats, and now you can call him the PaintedAutoParts.com Motorhead of the Week. We can feature you too, or maybe a friend of yours. Just email me, dave@motorheadgarage.tv. You know, we've seen how Tribotex can do amazing things for all vehicles, but Pasha, that's not what you set out to research when you developed Tribotex, was it?
We looked at the applications of safe materials in hip implants. If you know, the teeth and hips have completely different application. Teeth as hard as you can get, and hips is a very soft, special material that usually outlasts teeth in a normal person. The miracle of that cartilage material gave us an insight what we can do to bring it to other applications, like industrial ones. We bought Drive Cars, was fixing cars, working on all applications, performance, advanced ones. So when you can feel a difference in the car, that really sparks your attention.
What was it like when you thought, oh my gosh, I can use this in my vehicle?
Actually, it was opposite. We used in the vehicle and see, wow, it really works, and showed dramatic results. The vehicle got quieter right away, and then when we build up the film over time, we saw improvement in performance gain over time, and then we started to actually drift all research toward how we can make that vehicle application by far better and growing. And it has become part of our culture, just vehicle applications.
Brian Hansen is the lead engineer at Tribotex, and he gets a lot of emails. I got a chance to look through them, Brian, and I picked out some of the most popular emails you get. And the first one is a question that I ask anytime I'm going to put anything near my vehicle. Is it safe for my vehicle?
It's safe for all vehicles. Doesn't matter if you have a performance car, an off-roader, or a daily driver, this thing is safe in any engine. Took us many years to develop it and make sure that it will be safe in any engine now and in the future.
Even my old classic car?
Your old classic car is going to love it. They removed lead from the fuel. That was a good lubricant. We've used zincs and such. This nanoparticle is superior to that technology, and it's a non-toxic, so you don't have to worry about its environmental impact.
You know, oil weights have changed a lot. It used to be just throw whatever oil you want in the car, and now new cars are so particular about what they need. So does it work with the brand new cars as well?
Yes. One of the best things about Tribotex is that it is a small amount of particles that are a lot of particles in a very small tube. So we do not change the behavior of your oil. It doesn't matter if you use Tribotex with synthetic or conventional oils. We do not manipulate the oil. We just use it as a carrier for our nanoparticles.
And another question that gets asked a lot, how long does Tribotex last? One dose, I guess, you put in your car.
Tribotex is terrible for us, but great for the people because it ends up lasting in your engine for over 40,000 miles. We recommend it maybe once every year, but really you can go a couple years without needing another application.
How do I know this isn't some snake oil I'm going to put in my car? What is going to indicate to me right away that it's working?
A lot of people in about 15 minutes of running will notice that their engine will get smoother, quieter, and in time you will see a performance increase because of the combustion efficiencies are going to up a little. So we're going to see better efficiencies inside the cylinder walls. You're going to have less friction. You're going to hear less lifter noise. You're going to have easier starts in the winter. There's lots of benefits that come from this tiny little tube.
And what are some of the benefits I'm going to see long term?
Long term, your car's not going to die. It's going to keep going. If you accidentally run out of oil, we do not recommend that. But in some cases, we've had customers come to tell us that they have survived and made it to a shop without oil.
But you don't have to do the research yourself because these guys actually have it on their website.
Yeah, we actually have all of our scientific papers on our website. We've worked with national laboratories and we've been proven in many other engineering labs and are currently being tested in some very large companies right now.
NASA?
NASA actually gave us a spin-off. They published us this last year. So if you type in Tribotex NASA, you will find us on the internet.
These guys are the real deal. How much should we use in any engine at any given time?
Okay, that's a good question. A lot of people have different sized engines, and it's hard to find a product that's just right. Our Tribotex Original, which is this middle-sized one, is really good for anything between like a 2-liter and a 6-liter engine. It's a little thin on the bigger side or a little heavy on the small engines, but it's totally fine for all of that. Any excess will just drain out with your oil, and it will build up as much as you need. If you don't have enough, we have a satisfaction guarantee. Hit us up, we might get you another tube for you. And also, if you have a small engine, like below 2-liter, we have a Tribotex Mini, which is often great for 4-wheelers, motorcycles, snowmobiles, lawnmowers. These things are great for small cars. The Toyota Prius that I race, my Tribotex Mini works great.
We talk about oil. There's all kinds of oils out there, and for cars that have been around for a while, there is the high mileage oil.
Yeah.
Should I use that for my older vehicle when I'm using Tribotex?
You know, you can use any oil, but we recommend using just a normal oil. Now, high mileage oils have special additives in it, which can compete with Tribotex nanoparticles. The Tribotex nanoparticles are going to be superior to those particles that you're going to find in your oils.
Well, Tribotex is going to make your engine perform better. It's going to actually repair your older engines, and it's going to make your car last longer. Check them out at Tribotex.com. Motorhead Garage, presented by DragonFireTools.com, is streaming just about everywhere. And of course, we come to your television once a week. We'll do it in 7 days' time once again. Until then, drive safely. So long.